What is up, everybody? I'm having technical difficulties on my end, so you're gonna see this live. You're gonna see this live because unfortunately, that's not gonna impact you at all. It's just what I can hear. So we're going Mickey Mouse ears this morning, which is very exciting. Very exciting stuff. Hey, welcome back to the Morning Marketplace. We've got a hell of a show. Because shout out to Top Shot for just going absolutely nuts this morning. Wow, I still can't hear anything, I don't think. But shout out to Top Shot for going absolutely nuts though this morning. We've got Holo Drop information. We've got playoff packs, baby. We got a little bit of everything. So we're excited to get into it. All right. I vamped enough. I think I now have audio. We're excited for it. Let's see who's in the chat we got here. Nicholas up in here, Mitch, Daniel Christian, Borland. Old Dick Chuck up in here. Everybody's here, guys. B Slides. Joseph, what the hell is a 23-course dinner? That's too many courses. There's no, that's so many courses. That's like 21 more than you need. Colin, Don, Gurja, Jay, Willis is here. Liam's here. Caleb Brooks, Bruvy. All right, everybody's here. Randa Run, Adam Stubbs, Stan Chuck. What up? All right, we gotta go, guys. Kyle, someone's asking if I hear about. Apparently, you guys can hear me because no one's yelling at me. But the best way to figure this out. Oh wait, sponsor me, you cowards, right? The best way to figure this out. We've got a very exciting guest because here's the thing: anytime Top Shot drops anything that requires like intellectual breakdowns, it's important that I bring a guest on because you come here for the giggles and not for any sort of actual breakdown. So we're very excited. Balazs from the Barrel Zone is jumping on right now. You probably know him from the Discord
Hey
from the
guys.
Barrel Zone. How are we doing?
Doing great. Excited to be here.
Dude, thanks for coming on, man. Again, anytime we have to break down anything of like substance, it's important that we get somebody else here. What was like your initial reaction to the Holo Drop stuff?
I think they kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
This is what I expected. We have the carrot to work for. I mean, look at the prices of these MGLEs that will come in that pack and the prices of the Holos. This will be like a massively plus CV pack for $200. I think we will continuously be getting inspiration to keep that score up, and I like it.
You know, when they announced that the MGLE pack was going to be a little bit cheaper, or a lot cheaper, I guess at $24, I was like, wow, are we going to get a cheaper holo pack? And the common sentiment was like, no, that's their bread and butter. They're going to make good money on that. They're going to keep that at $999. Even when I was speculating that it was going to be cheaper, I was like, maybe it'll be like $600. But for it to be $230, like, holy hell, what a value on that.
Yeah, it will be insane.
Yeah. Now, were you I feel like we need to dive into the collector score situation. So it's 7,500 to get there, right? And they've kind of laid out some breadcrumbs for how we can get there if you're not there already. Were you comfortably in the 7,500 zone?
No, I'm pretty close, like around 7K right now. But okay. I'm planning on going all in on the playoff set, so it should be quickly getting there with all these bonuses. I mean, what the bonuses they put out, it's just helping you insanely, especially if you use that infinite team booster thing that many are doing right now.
Absolutely. So I'm going to pull up the blog just so we can kind of work through it in case anyone saw that you needed 7,500 and basically lit your screen on fire and you're like, I'm not going to figure out how to get here. I'm at 3,000, which I know a lot of people are at, right? So for some of the ways to boost the collector score, a set completion. So you double up on points when you complete a set. So if you completed like Hustle and Show, whatever that point total would have given you, ×2. So that's pretty cool. We've got the series team bonus. So if you collect at least one moment from each player on your team of your choice for a given series, so you can't do crossover series 1 or series 2, you get a 50% bonus on each. So it's like 1.5x, right? A full team for super fans, collect at least one moment from each player ever to be featured on a team of your choice, score big. That's good. I think they said that's 2.5 times. And then a challenge completion plus a reward own. So, right, there's lots of different ways. They also have the 9 Lives Lounge member bonus. So, if you remember the marketplace a week or so ago where I went off about how bad the Cool Cats thing ended up being, just slap me in the face because we take an L on that. I'm very happy to have completed the Cool Cats now. And then we also the marketplace bonus, which was similar to what they've done before. But yeah, so there's a lot of different ways, right, with this set completion. So what was your like initial thoughts when you saw this?
I think this is the right direction. So they clearly are trying to get involve everyone who is like collecting anything. When this started out, like the first iteration of Collector Score, I think everyone was a bit pissed. Mm-hmm. Like if you are collecting like base first series moments, you are basically screwed. But now that they are involving the marketplace spend, I think that's great. Fans of teams, that's also great. And if you are out, you have lots of opportunities to get in. So yeah, overall, I really like it, and I think that's the way to go. I think the where we are sitting right now is the right number. They said that for the conference finals drop, this will be a bit lower, so I'm guessing like 5K-ish. Mm-hmm. I think this is realistic, and yeah, you should work for it a bit, but it's not impossible to get there.
Yeah, and that's where I land too, and I do. It's easy for me who has complete. Well, I shouldn't say nothing about Cool Cats was easy, but to have already qualified, I get it. It's pretty annoying to be like, actually, guys, I think the collector score thing was pretty good. Because of course I feel that way because I've already reached that goal, but. What I appreciate, and I said this again leading up to the MGLE pack, right, is that we were given this information with a week in advance. We have been now given, everybody likes to say the term roadmap, but we're giving a blueprint of like how we get there. And I think the real important takeaway from this too is that I don't think this is a one-time thing. Like the exact framework for getting these bonuses will probably shift from drop to drop. But like they're letting you know right now, right? They're letting us know right now with this information that this type of collecting is how you're going to get there. And they're not going to it is going to be tough to get there, but it's not going to be super exclusive to like owning Cosmics, right? Like you complete a team set, you complete a series 1 set, you complete a challenge, like all of those things combined will get you there. And I think one other thing too that I kind of liked about this is that this, right, if you're not there yet, it's going to require you to spend some more money to get there. But we also thought that Holo Drop was going to be $999. So you almost have, like, even if you spend another $400 in the marketplace to get there, you're still under that $999, That was just kind of my thought on that for the price thing. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to reach it, especially if you use that team bonus. As you have the full team bonus, then you can stack the moments, and each of the floor moments you buy will count for like 36 points. Each of the series 2 floor moments. Once you have any of the team full set bonuses unlocked for like Charlotte and Minnesota, it was really cheap. Most guys were jumping on that early on, and yeah.
Yeah, the Charlotte, Minnesota seems to be the way to go, right? Because they don't involve any sort of run it back moments. And that was the thing you needed to avoid for sure.
Yeah, I think, and they only have, I think, series 2s. So all the guys have series 2 moments. But I mean, yeah, the floor is up already. But I mean, you have an infinite booster, which is insane. So like, if this gets to like the requirement to like 50, like I don't know, like 10x in the like 5 years from now, you can still probably use your infinite booster.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for it now. So we had like around 25,000 or so qualified for the MGLE, right? And that was for like 5,200, around 5,000 packs, right? So it was like 1 in 5 almost to get there. Do we think that that's where the Holo will land too? Do we think it stays around 1 in 5, or do you think it goes higher or lower?
I think based on what we've heard on the podcast with the Dapper guys involved, I think they are aiming for a bit better odds. So like 1 in 4 maybe, but I'm not sure how well they can forecast like how willing people will be to buy. As based on what we've seen, I think it has been insane. So people are boosting like their scores like crazy. So
Yeah.
I mean, and we have a week, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get similar odds. I tell you that, despite the score being like relatively high.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to touch on too, because I guess if you're frustrated with where you're at and you're like, I'm not going to get there, the positive of not getting there though is that we are seeing the entire market just kind of go up a little bit. So you have opportunities to flip some stuff and then buy it back later, or just like see your account in the green for a little bit. There's a lot of positives all around. There was one other question though. I know I had heard this, and maybe again, I'd only listened to the On the Moment podcast about the stacking thing. I'm not sure if you get the stacking points. So if anyone else in the chat, like if you complete it, I don't know if you get extra if you continue to stack. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
I think it was confirmed that it was intended. As like right. if time goes and more releases come, you will need to buy those to keep the bonus up. So like you will need to like spend more to like keep the bonus.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna double check that too. So okay, Nerdbird is saying and again, we're just speculating anyways, but Nerdbird is saying El Dumbo, shout out from Top Shot, El Dumbo said stacking would come in the future. So it's something that we need. But yeah, I think this is going to continue to be tweaked as it moves forward, obviously, because it's still so new, but pretty cool. Like I love this type of collecting. And if you're involved in our Discord or probably any Discord, right? Like some of the fun of all of this is going nuts, trying to figure out like inefficiencies in the market, ways to get ahead. And this is like how we do it, right? And this is a lot of fun. So I'm excited. So we've got a week, or less than a week now. We got to boost that collector score
next Thursday, 17th.
Yeah. So I guess like one of you said you're getting ready to stack some playoff packs. So I think this was like a good transition. We have the playoff pack that's starting this afternoon. And it's through the weekend, right? So you had to have reserved those already. Neil Diamond Hands too. I'm going to share this as we transition. He says stacking is good. It's just not in play for the completion of sets. Like if you complete the gift and you have an extra Derrick Rose, you only get the bonus on the first one. Cool. All right. Thank you, Neil. But yeah, I know you've been deep in the streets over at the Barrel Zone, breaking down the playoff packs. And like we said off air before I got on, I haven't gotten too deep on the playoff pack. So I'm excited to learn from the master over here.
Right. I post the link to the blog post in Discord if anyone wants to follow. Maybe you can share the screen of the projection, and then we'll just talk through it. So yeah, it's 12K LE. It was speculated that this might be a CC set, as we will have further playoff drops, but it became a 12K LE set. We have 32 moments, and we will have 8 rewards. And if you scroll down, then we will see the figures I came up with. So what was teased, that we will have these 8 challenges, and 2 will run side by side starting today. We will get the Trae Young and I think the Paul George today. And it was also teased that these will be shorter challenges, so likely not a week long, likely not daily either, but I would say maybe 3 to 5 days. We will see. I've put this together using a lot of data, but a lot of manual tinkering. So I've talked to 20 guys last night in the community. How do they feel about this set? How do they feel about the value of these moments, etc.? So one thing that came up in many chats was that the guys that are already out and who lost in the first round will likely not be as valuable in the long run. As if you are, I don't know, like a Knicks fan, you rather keep like Barrett's, like, I don't know, first moment, but not where they went out in the first round.
Right.
So besides the player value across all sets, I've also used like current title odds. So you will see like Brooklyn guys higher up, and I also kind of tuned down a bit those guys who are already out. So yeah, this is currently like a snapshot of how the current standing of the playoffs is, and how the current value of the players is across the site. But as you can see, for $14, you are getting pretty good bang for your buck, and this isn't including the challenge modifiers. So for common sets, we get like 2x, 2.5x. So I think these will at least double in price when these are actively involved in a challenge. So yeah, one thing that's really important to know, that I prepared this for the full set, and we will only get 7,500 of these moments today. So there will be moments out of all of these drop later. So I think that's something you have to factor in. Although with the challenges likely starting today, I think they may drop moments past challenges when they will lose their utility.
Right. And we don't have any of the challenge information, correct? Right. That's something that we'll probably get as the pack drops or after.
Yeah, it was
right?
teased that these will be like common challenges, may include base moments, and we know that we know which what are the rewards. And the first reward is the Trae Young Hush in MSG thing. So I think, I mean, these rewards will likely make people happy, and I think these will be. And we didn't have like a real good common challenge in a while, so I think people will just go for it. And as you can see, I mean, if you are going for a challenge, these are like, it's pretty affordable, this set. I mean, yeah, obviously LeBron and KD, that will be pricey if this is like at least 2x during the challenge. But but I think the rest is like not that crazy. And I also boosted some moments that are like super strong, like from history to like high scoring games for Booker, and like there are a few ones like the Gobert block over Morant, and there are some great ones. So I also kind of factored in the moment quality as well. So I think this will be like the ballpark will be fine.
I think that Rudy block should also count as a Ja moment, because I want to give Ja credit for trying to throw that down on Rudy. That, like, he still gets points for that. Yeah, this is so cool. And Balazs, do you mind if I share the link in the chat? Is this up and running?
Oh, I already shared the link. In the chat.
There we go. All right, I saw a couple people had posted something. I'm gonna throw it in one more time just in case y'all haven't seen it. But yeah, this is really exciting. This is. What my favorite thing, you know, I had some mixed feelings on Seeing Stars when it happened, and then like eventually came around on it when the prices started dipping a little bit. And honestly, my frustration with Seeing Stars was that the rare All-Star moments dropped right after it, where it's just kind of like, what the heck? But with this, I mean, it's of the moment right now with the playoffs, but there's just so many good like players that people want, even when you get down to the lower end. I mean, I guess the cutoff for me is probably Dillon Brooks. Like after Dillon Brooks, when we get to Norman Powell, Marcus Smart, actually you could talk me into Robert Williams, but the Ben McLemore, Reggie, Bryn Forms, like I wouldn't be super pumped about that. But to see this entire list, right, and only be like 4 or 5 that I'd be bummed on, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the Holo Drop, where we looked at the moments and like there are 2 very good ones, and the rest are like maybe. But here, yeah, I think you have a better shot at pulling something really good than something bad, which is amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to again, we're fresh off like the MGLE stuff where those moments dropped, it hit the marketplace, and we didn't see like the wild undercutting that we're used to. So to see kind of these projections, and like this is a $14 pack, and almost half of them are settling at like 14 or higher. Again, it's just projections, but from post challenge low ask. But this is still pretty. It's positive.
Definitely, and the set bonus will be an interesting thing. if you are planning for long term, obviously you won't get your full reward bonus for the Holo Drop. But so we have 32 moments. We have 8 rewards, and if you are planning on keeping the rewards as well and the entire set, you will have 2,300 extra collector score from this. So if you're buying the entire set and doing all 8 challenges, that's 2,300 collector score, which is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, and I think that, like, going back to the collector score conversation, I think now that we have the information of what these bonuses could look like and what they're looking for in boosting collector scores, I do wonder, like, how does this impact every time we have a new set come out that's a common but like a non-base common? Like, how is it going to impact things? And this will be like the first test run of that, and I'm pretty excited to see. And it might not be the best one to use, only because the Holo Drop is right on its heels. So like you're going to see some probably inflated purchasing because of that. But I am really excited to see what this looks like over the weekend. Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
But yeah, I'm really excited. And I think too, it makes me wonder, like, are 1 million people going to line up today and then Saturday and Sunday? It's the queue. Like, if you don't want to wait in the queue, are we going to see way more of it today? Because people are going to try to get these things on the market sooner rather than later. I think you
have to be there. I mean, I don't think this is one where you will wait till Sunday. I think, especially if you want to buy or sell, I think you do that early. I will be like sitting there and refreshing like crazy.
Yeah. How have you been? Like, what is to pivot off the playoff packs just for a second? Have you been like, what's your strategy been in the last like few days where we've been seeing like the market start to creep up again? Have you been more of a buyer? Have you been like flipping some stuff to reinvest? Like, where have you been at?
Yeah, so I basically like sold everything like a month ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
I sold at a pretty good time, so things were like going down like real hard, but it was going down real hard for like weeks after still. So I think I exited at the right spot, and then I re-entered like, I don't know, small for like 20-30% of my bankroll like a week ago. And have been buying, but I'm only buying now Top Shot debuts and rookies. I'm really into like rookies now. So I'm a sports bettor full time, and I'm really like data focused, and I'm trying to find guys, especially when they are playing in the right teams with the right cores around them, who like use their time on the court like efficiently. And I'm just hunting for these really the good opportunities when it comes to rookies. I want to hold like rookies long term, and obviously Top Shot debuts for the guys I feel are undervalued. But I'm like not buying like LeBrons or like Morants or stuff like that. Rather like smaller, like more liquid stuff, like, I don't know, like DeAndre Hunter Top Shot debut, stuff in the like $100 to $200 range from Series 1.
Was it, without giving away all the secret sauce, because if you are, you know, I know you have a Patreon, you have a stream. If you check our show notes in this YouTube chat, or I mean in this YouTube stream, you can find all the information for the Barrel Zone, which is really good stuff. But were there any Series 2 rookies that you were like, that felt like the market was super inefficient on?
Yeah, to me, Quickly is really the best buy right now. I think is you know, when the first 4K came out, it went really high. Like it was like close to 1K or around 1K.
Yeah, I think it went over 1K for a little bit.
Yeah. I was flipping some of those back then, so you can buy it for like a bit more than $100 right now. Wow. And he only has 2 moments, and his 40K LE is like $5 or $6, and that's a rookie moment. That's the only 2 moments he has. And all the stats I'm tracking shows me that he has been really efficient with his time. He's like 21 years old, major market. We don't know what will happen with Peyton in New York. So Quickly, out of the guys that I think have great potential, is really cheap. I really like Halliburton. I think he could really be a good one, although I'm kind of lukewarm on the Kings. I mean,
well, I think lukewarm that's generous. You're being very generous by saying lukewarm.
So I haven't bought any, but I'm really eyeing the MGLE after the challenges are done. I'm likely buying that one. That's a great moment. And I have 4 rookies who are like super cheap. Let's just pump these guys up a bit.
Let's do it.
So I like Isaiah Stewart.
Oh yeah. You came to the right place. If we're talking about beef stew, you came to the right place.
Oh yeah. I like Tillman. I like Okungwu and Bain. So these guys are all like 19 to 21 years old. I mean, the amount of minutes they got is different, and the amount of efficiency we've seen is different. But I think all of these guys have upside. I'm really high on Memphis on the core. I think the scoring that Bain provides will be really useful for Memphis, and I think he will be really a rotation player, a starter down the line. And I think Okungwu is really talented. We will see how that turns out. But I think all these guys are really interesting. But yeah, Beef Stew would be my number 1 pick of super overlooked rookies.
Yeah, I was talking about him, I want to say like back in March, and it was so clear, one, that Detroit was going to be losing games on purpose. And so that means less Plumlee time. Like Plumlee's going to be like, oh, my finger hurts, and he's going to be sitting out. So I was like, okay, we're going to get a longer look at Stewart. And I mean, I don't think he's going to be a superstar by any means, but he's good. Like he's going to be one of those big man double machines who's just going to put up stats. And I mean, it's more of a long-term hold, I think, because Detroit's going to be bad for a little. They're going to be bad before they're good. But I do think they're building like a pretty fun young core, and it could be fun.
Yeah, that's it. I think that team could be super fun with like Hayes and Sadiq Bey. And the thing is that they have a 52% shot at landing top 4 pick this year. Right. So, I mean, they won't be good next year, but they will be fun, especially if they get the old trash out and they will play the young guys. I mean, they should do that.
Yeah, and it's the Eastern Conference, so you can make the playoffs before you're good, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I like the Beef Stew, and the Memphis guys, too, is such a good call because you were seeing them get meaningful minutes in, like, real games. Like, this wasn't tanking games. This was playoff games, and Desmond Bain is, like, hitting jumpers and talking shit, which I loved.
So Tillman didn't really get too much run in the playoffs, but I think he will be fine. And Bain, I mean, I think Memphis will need these guys as Morant is like, if you look at his stats, he's like not a true like efficient scorer, clutch shooter guy. So he will need those guys. And I mean, I think Bain could be really the shooter of the team. And I mean, the pricing of his moments is just crazily low.
It is crazy low. And the Congo is fun too. And who knows what happens with John Collins?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and I think that's like a pretty big wild card. And and again, even if what I like about these moments, and this is my biggest frustration with rookies when Top Shot was pumping, is that everyone was like bawling out over, you know, like an Aaron Neesmith 4K or, you know, those guys. I'm like, no, you have to target guys that actually have upside. Like, don't just get a rookie for the sake of getting a rookie. You need the upside needs to be there. Otherwise, you just have a rookie card of a mediocre player.
Yeah, so Okungwu, he has been shooting 64% from the field this year, and if you look at the underlying stats, I'm tracking like win shares per 48 minutes. He's 3rd out of all rookies, season 1 and season 2. He's 2nd in true shooting, 20th in box score plus minus. So yeah, he's right up there, and obviously his minutes were super low. But if really, as you said, I mean, I'm not sure what happens to Collins, but if he's gone, he could get a couple of more minutes there. And I mean, he just turned 20, so he's like, that's huge upside.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Gordon says in the chat, KMJ, should we talk? Does any love for Kenyon Martin Jr. over there with the Rockets?
He's like, so there is like a big drop for me. After like these 4 when it comes to value, but then he's in the next tier. Like I have like Pritchard there, Maxey, Sadiq Bey, and then him. So yeah, I think he could be valuable. I really don't like some of these more top guys, and I think what we have with Series 2, it's extremely top heavy. And with Series 1, I think there are some inefficiencies as well. DeAndre Hunter is my absolute GOAT. If you look at most of the stats, he's right up there in the top 5. He's 5th in true shooting, 6th in box score plus minus, 7th in win shares. If you just look at like offensive stats, he's right up there as well. And Michael Porter Jr. is, I think, from the top guys, he's the best buy right now. And his moments, I haven't bought it yet, but the Top Shot debut came down to like 500.
Yeah,
he is the only guy from the Series 1 and Series 2 rookies that's in the there is this stat PSA, points per 100 shot attempts. He's the only guy in the top 5 in the league out of all of the Series 1 and Series 2 rookies. He's 2nd in win shares, 2nd in box score plus minus, 1st in true shooting. He's right there with Zion if you look at the underlying numbers. Dude, and no one is there.
What I love about Michael Porter Jr. too is that he is like, if this is his ceiling right now, like say he already hit his ceiling at 21 or however old he is. If he already hit his ceiling, he's a really good shooter and scorer on a very good basketball team. That's if he's at his ceiling.
Yeah, and that's the thing that if you look at Denver, they will be contenders for years. Yeah. When Murray comes back, Murray also a good buy low. He's out now. No one is talking about him, but that dude and his first moment is insane.
Yes.
But like, so Michael Porter Jr., Series 1 rookie in this core, I think huge upside.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've been screaming about him. DeAndre Hunter too. I like that call a lot. He was like pretty hit or miss his rookie year, but before he got hurt this year, he was really good. He was one of their most important pieces on the floor, and so I like that too. And his price will probably dip even more now because
the debut is like, sub $200, but it's I don't know, it's like closer to 100 maybe now. It's insane. So.
Yeah. And I think too, and this kind of ties in with the Series 2 rookies, right? I felt like the Series 1 rookies were overlooked because we were in Series 2. So part of me almost thinks like if you are eyeing some of these Series 2 rookies, maybe even wait till the beginning of Series 3, because then those rookies are going to come out and no one's going to care as much about these Series 2 rookies. Because I thought it was so nuts where you were, and this is how the whole PJ Washington bit started, right? But I was like, why are we freaking out over, I don't know, what's a good example of a rookie that we don't, Aaron Nesmith. I keep going back to Aaron Nesmith. Why are we losing our mind about an Aaron Nesmith rookie when you have PJ Washington? It's out of less. It's a Series 1. He's on a better team. Like we know he can put up numbers. I was just always so confused while we focused on that. And I get it because it's like in the now. That's what's happening right now. So we value that a little bit more. But I love that. Like Lou Dort is another good example where like the Thunder team might be bad before they're good again too, but like I like Lou Dort.
Yeah, I really like SGA. I'm always like defending him. I think he has extreme upside, but I haven't bought into OKC yet. My big issue is the organization. We don't know how the next year will look or the year after before they get all these draft picks and. So yeah, I mean, if you are going like super long term, I think all of those guys are pretty decent. But yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, well, thank you. Oh yeah, of course. The chat will freak out if we don't talk about Poku for a second. Do we have any love for Poku over there?
I just don't think we have the sample size yet to like he started late. That they were already tanking. So like, I think. I just threw that part of the season a bit out the window. We will see next year. I know that some guys are super high on him, and some analysts I really respect really like him. So I think I haven't seen anything yet from like a numbers perspective, but we will see. And I mean, if he stays there and this OKC core really comes through, I mean, he will be right there.
Yeah, I always have a tough time ranking players who weigh the same amount as I do high. Like, I feel like you have to be a little bit heavier than I am to play in the NBA. But you're right. He's tough to, like, he'll have a 3-minute stretch on the court where you're like, wow, Poku's the best guy out here. But then then he won't. Then he won't do that for a while. So he's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think if he bulks up, he will need to do that for sure. I think it could be interesting. I mean, if he gets like an NBA ready body, then I think he could have a high ceiling.
Yeah, and one of the other things, just to stay on OKC for a second too, that I'm kind of interested in, right? Because there's a lot of like rookie or young players that we like. Baisley will show some upside. Dort will show some upside. Dort, I actually think is good. Like he's going to be on a good basketball team at some point, just because he can defend and shoot threes, and that's like he'll be on. But like what I like about some of these guys is there's a real chance they continue to tank and pick up like scoop picks and try to get stars. We might see like Lou Dort go to a contender for picks, or we might see those guys move around, and then all of a sudden they're in a better environment and we value them differently. So
yeah, sure. And all of these guys are super young, so like that's something that I think people just don't think through when they are buying on Top Shot. Like if you're buying these guys like 20 to 22, 3 years old, I mean, they will be in the league for 10 plus years. So like you don't need to, if you're holding long term, you don't need them to be like good next year. If they are good in like 5-6 years, and if they get traded to the Lakers in 5 years, and when they are peaking, then you made it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we need to discuss this at least a little bit, because the Discord was on fire this morning. I ended up spending money that I wasn't anticipating spending.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I honestly, it felt fishy. I don't know if it was smart, but I'm excited to talk about it. The tinfoil hats came on this morning, and I know we referenced, right, there's going to be a lot, hopefully, or there's going to be common challenges that are coming out for this. I'll share your screen too, just so we have this up here again. But yeah, do you want to dive into these potential challenges? And again, we should say up top, we do not know what we're talking about. This is full crazy speculation.
Yeah, so the first challenge was teased by Top Shot like yesterday, the Trae Young one, and they wrote "tough" in all caps. I think Top Secrets posted it in the chat, and then everyone was just looking for moments that have "tough" in the description, and we both like shitloads of them.
and then we went firing into the marketplace, so looking for tough in the description. I almost need, like, on Top Shot, a control F. It's control F so I can search for the word tough. But I want to shout out, Top Secrets in the chat was giving us some love so we can figure out who this was coming from. So just to sprinkle a little bit in there, we'll give you a little bit. But morning marketplace favorite Bogdan Bogdanovic had a tough floater. So yeah, we're in those streets now, trying to figure out what these challenges going to look like.
If we are hitting all these, then I will just laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
Not too likely, but
yeah, I know. Wait, hold on. I'm getting hammered here for not sharing the Dort drop, because we talked about Dort for a little bit. So yeah, get ready. Turn the music down, because here comes the Dort drop. There we go. I'm sorry to the fans who were pissed that we didn't do that yet. I also have to say, changing headphones to the Mickey Mouse ear, that is like surround sound so loud. I felt like I was in a club just there for Dort. Shout out Martin Kings. I know you love that. The Deep Threat says, aren't they just making you collect the 5 moments from the same series to get that specific series reward?
We don't know. That's the thing. So like we've seen just base moment challenges before with Cool Cats. The Cool Cats challenges, the earlier ones used base moments as well next to the Cool Cats ones. So we don't know. But as they are teasing shorter challenges, and we will have 2 starting, I don't think we ever had that, like 2 challenges for the same set starting on the same day. I think this is a kind of a first, and everything is really just pointing these to be shorter. So I wouldn't be surprised if like you don't need to like collect like 9 moments, just maybe like 5 or 6 or something. We will see soon enough, but I'm kind of expecting them to just use like a solid playoff player, 40k CCs, and I think Yeah, we will see, but probably these should be like cheaper challenges overall. I don't think they will just ask us for to buy all the playoff moments for each of them.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. I hope so. I hope that's the case. Anyways, I hope we're not expected to do that, especially with everyone trying to raise their collector score again, right? So. Gosh, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to be wrong on challenge. It's been a while since I've stacked moments and then ultimately been wrong. So I'm excited to do that. And if anything, trade tickets. Scoop some trade tickets up for Series 1.
We have 8 challenges. I mean, and if we hit like one of these 3-4 that we were buying, like it's all good.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for. So shout out Bogdan Bogdanovic. Yeah, Beamer says, I don't want $60 commons again. Please, God.
Yeah. But the floor is rising. Floor is rising.
It is.
Up until the pack drop, and then
yeah,
everyone will be dumping the commons, I think. No one will be keeping those. I mean, at least the talking for the casual collector might keep the playoff moment, but they will likely just list the commons. So yeah, I think if you want to buy like for collector score after the pack drop, you might be able to snipe like $2-3 moments, $1-2 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that might be a good spot to start grabbing all these commons.
Yeah, I want to share Michael Hunt's comment too, because he says was going to go for the team bonus, but need to pay $41 for Mike freaking James. It is kind of funny when we learn what the bottlenecks are, and it's like, why is Mike James for? And I think that's come down. I think it was even higher than that last night. I thought it got up to like 70 or something like that. Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
Everything was when I woke up like 12 hours ago. Everything was super high, and now it's coming back down to earth. But it's still. I mean, I think those team bonus trains are kind of gone for now. Yeah. It was mentioned by a couple of guys that calculated like you are likely better off now just waiting for the cheapest base moments than trying to go for these teams, as some of these moments. Whew,
yeah. They got up there. Yeah, like we the people in here saying sold it for 70. And now we're seeing like Jake Layman over $20. Like, yeah, that's not a good investment, I would say, to get Jake Layman for $20. So what if you were someone who needed to raise your collector score? Say you're at like 5,000, you're trying to get to 7,500. What do you think, like, what would be your approach if you were trying to rack it up a little bit?
Yeah, I think for now I would go with the common base moments of these second ranked rookies we talked about. Mm-hmm. So like I just see now you can buy like Tillman 40K for $3, and that has like the rookie badges. So like if the badges will truly add to the collector score down the line. You can find, I think, some nice rookies still around like $4. Like Stewart is there, Pritchard is there, Devin Vessel, Precious is there, Okoro is now $5. But I think these $4 rookies going for $4, you will be able to find some of these for $3, and you get the 2 badges. Nice. You are buying a young guy, and in the very worst case, it is a trade ticket. But if they add any kind of value in the collector score for the badges, you bought super good one for $3, basically the floor.
Yeah, it is funny. Those badges I like are going to be, I think, undervalued, or they're being undervalued right now. And I think as we move further away from Series 2 and like we see fewer and fewer badges out there on the streets, I think those will be good buys. I'm not saying those are going to go up to like $30 or $40 or anything like that, but you'll see that floor be higher, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is that, we had that hardcore leak of tags that was put out, and rookie badge is there. So if the rookie year will have like an added bonus for your player stats in hardcore, that could also have. So I think like just there's this basic cheapest rookie moments of these guys. They have like multiple ways of getting just good value out of them, and you are basically paying the same as you would pay for any other core moment of any like mediocre player.
Yeah, I also want to share. We were talking about ways to build your collector score. Tommy G also had a way, and he says, "Drunk, buy up the cheap floor moments to increase it." Also, one way to do it, Tommy. Also, one way to do it. But yeah, I like that call. I also what do you think would be the cutoff for you? Like if you were at 3,000 collector score, do you think you'd still be trying to buy up to get to 7,500, or do you think at that point you're like selling and then buying
I think
after?
it's tough. I mean, I think now at this point, you that's difficult. If you got in last night and got the team bonuses early, even with a 3K score, you can be up there in no time. But yeah, I think from 3K it could be rough. I think at 5K I would definitely go for it. 4-5K I think would be realistic. But I mean, when I'm looking at the prices of some of these like 4K rookies I own, I mean, I just want to sell some of these. So like, I think you can easily turn it around and just sell some moments that have been going up, and maybe then you can stack on the floor. I think if you look at the floor after this pack drop and it's super low, then maybe even from 3K you can go up if you. You have an entire week to snipe cheap stuff, and that's a lot of time.
And I think normally, right, if this was, if you needed to boost up your score to then spend $999 for a holo pack, I'd probably have a different approach to it. But because it is again, none of this is financial advice, but because it's a $230 pack for a moment that like the lowest ask on the market for one of these is closer to 1,000, I kind of am like, it makes sense to me, especially because we know the collector score is going to be a thing that matters from here on out, right? It's not like they're piloting this and then it goes away next season. I think this is going to, it might look different, but the collector score is going to be a thing that's here to stay. And they've been pretty adamant about that. Yeah,
I think based on what have you seen yesterday, they put up like a message on the site, like don't sell. Basically, that was the message, as we are making the screenshot right now, and like don't sell your stuff. Yeah. I think they will find ways to make us keep everything. And if you look forward, like Series 3, I've heard on one of these podcasts that they said like off-season will likely stay Series 2, as people hated the idea of off-season having like another season. So like Series 3, if you look at the collector score, they are likely giving out lower value for those moments.
Right.
So the floor will likely just stay around like $2-3, but for a Series 3, you won't get likely 12 points as you do for Series 2 floor moment right now.
Right, because I mean, you see the difference between Series 1 and Series 2, right? There's a drop off, and that's gonna continue. Either that, or they raise the Series 1 score, they raise the Series 2 score, but that discrepancy is gonna be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep Threat says, I refuse to keep everything. # team flip. Deep Threat. I was like looking through some stuff this morning too, and I'm in not in a weird spot, because I the Cool Cats really put me over the edge. So I qualify, and I was like, I scooped a Drew Holiday Top Shot debut, I think for like $80 before the playoffs, and now things like 140 or whatever it is. And it's like, do I flip that like now and then buy it back after? But part of me is like, I don't really want to be flipping my Top Shot debuts. It's a weird spot.
Yeah, it's weird. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm keeping my Series 1s even if if they go up. But I mean, with the Series 2 rookies, just as you said, I mean, if you compare to Series 1, like a huge percentage of them are really overpriced right now, the 4K ones, and people are buying them to get the team score up, and everyone is really just buying these 4K rookies, and some really bad players are super expensive. I would just sell those.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too with those. The only one I scooped this week, I forget. I think it was you. I think you put this in the chat when the Kemba news came.
Pritchard? Pritchard.
Yeah, I scooped the Pritchard one right after you put that in there.
I have that. I mean, I think if Kemba leaves. They said it's likely going to be a trade, but I think either way he will get some more opportunities, and he's in my database he's really the bottom of the guys that could be good. So I still think that he has some potential. Obviously, I'm not super high on him, but I think the market is good. And I kind of believe that team can turn it around with this new like leadership.
Yeah, I'm hopeful as a Celtics fan. I'm just glad they made some sort of adjustments. Like clearly the energy in that front office and in the clubhouse needed to be tweaked, and it was. I mean, they're taking some shots, right? Because there's no guarantee that Brad Stevens is a good front office executive,
Yeah.
but I'm
Sure,
excited.
But I mean, if you have to take a bet on someone, I don't think he's the worst bet to take.
No, yeah,
I mean,
he's been pretty good
super
so far.
sharp guy. Yeah,
he's made Butler a thing, so he gets credit. I guess I want to make sure we cover this and we can just see where the conversation goes. But have you where are you at in the NBA playoffs? Like how have you been? I guess where's your sharp money at right now?
All right. Yeah, I'll just pull up the playoff picture. So
yeah.
I think I still don't see anyone stopping Brooklyn really.
Yeah.
One really interesting nugget, like how the market and the sharps look at this Milwaukee series. Like before today's game in Milwaukee, the Nets were 3.5-point dogs, I think, and 3.5-point dogs. And for the next game, they opened up as 1.5-point favorites.
Wow.
So it was a 5-point move based on just this game. I don't think they will shoot this bad anytime soon. I mean, if you look at Brooklyn shot 36% from the field and 25% from 3-point range. I don't think you can expect that to like repeat again. I think Harden is like really a big question. They are not saying anything. I think he's like week to week, probably like maybe we don't see him until the finals, but I just don't see the Nets really stepping it up. I don't see Philly doing really anything here. On the other side, I think the West is really interesting. I have a Jazz ticket to win it all at plus 4,200 back in November.
Wow.
But I think they got super lucky today. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers win both in LA. But I mean, this is Mitchell is stepping it up. It's a real good home court advantage. So yeah, I think that's an interesting series. But at this point, if I have to say who wins the West, I think it's Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix. They are looking real good.
They really are. They can beat you a couple of different ways, which I like, right? Booker can just take over a game. They can beat you down low. They can play defense and slow the game down if they want. Like I am hoping for a Utah Phoenix series because Donovan Oh, go ahead.
So that's like really the takeover. Like the new guys are coming in, new blood. I mean, Booker, Mitchell. This is the thing I think that needs to get you excited. I mean, people are crying that the Lakers are out, but I think it doesn't matter. I mean, both of these teams, the way they are built up, it's smart. Both of them have likable guys. I think that's what we need as a Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I think too, like Donovan Mitchell is giving us some real Dwayne Wade vibes right now. And I've got mixed feelings on Donovan Mitchell. Sometimes his antics on the court annoy me sometimes. But man, that 3-point shot has come together in an efficient way now that you can't, like, I thought Zubats was going to be, especially after game one, I was like, Zubats is going to be a thing this series, right? Because they have two bigs. Yeah. It's either Rudy or Favors. They don't really go small. But the way Donovan's doing what Luka did, we're like, oh, Zubats is on the floor. Let's Rudy, come on up. And we know Rudy is the best screen setter in the history of the NBA because we're informed that every single time. But yeah, to see like Mitchell go up against Booker, to see like Chris Paul in the Western Conference Finals, I am way more excited about the West. And I'm not even writing off Denver yet. Phoenix is much better than Denver, but like if you told me Jokic averages like 40 and 25 the rest of the way, I wouldn't be surprised by that either.
Yeah, we will see. I think Phoenix is just too good. I think the big mismatch is really the guards there.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just letting Rivers and Campazzo shoot, and Chris Paul knows how big of a mismatch this is.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when Ayton is not in foul trouble, like in game one, we see it's easy. But when he was in foul trouble in game two, they also made that work. So that was my biggest question going into the series. Like, what happens if Ayton is in foul trouble and he has to sit and Jokic will be just feasting on these bums?
Yo, you don't think Frank Kaminsky can shut down Jokic?
Not really.
I know that was my biggest concern too. I was like, oh, if Jokic gets Ayton into foul trouble, but no, you know what? Like you said, Chris Paul's aware of the mismatch. You know who's not aware of the mismatch? Austin Rivers. He thinks he thinks the mismatch is the other way. He's like, give me the ball, let me chuck.
And the guy is, I think, 35% 3-point shooter through his career or something like that. So they're just letting him do that.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. So I hope we get Phoenix, Utah. I mean, the Clippers too would be a good matchup, but I can't get excited to watch the Clippers.
Do you have any confidence that? I mean, I'm thinking like maybe the Clippers can win both games in LA, but then I'm thinking again like, do we have any confidence that they won't choke it? Like,
I'm with you.
At least one game will be like choked away.
I'm with you. I could totally see them winning both games and then losing 2 in a row. Like I could see them. Yeah. I just have no confidence in Paul George when it matters. I really don't. I don't think. And I know he had a great game last night and a must win for them. But I still like if we get to the game 6s and the game 7s of the world, I don't have confidence in that. And I just think Utah does not run out bad players. Right, you don't see anybody bad come into the game for Utah. Like 1 through 8, they are all serviceable NBA players. Where the Clippers, every once in a while, you get a Luke Kennard sighting, and I know Luke Kennard put up some points the other night, but like, Luke, shoot, Luke, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I'm excited for Utah Phoenix, and I tell you, I will be buying out much of my Utah wager with Phoenix because I'm favoring Phoenix there. I think they match up well. It's going to be a really close series, but I'm taking Phoenix, and I'm hoping that they can win like 2 games against Brooklyn. We will see. At least make it interesting.
You know, to go back to Brooklyn for a second, if you're Milwaukee, you can't even feel good about that win last night because that game was set up for them to just run all over them, for them to shoot what they shot from the field and to get up to a lead like that, and then for it to come down to I mean, KD almost hit that 3 too to send it into overtime. So I would not feel good if I'm Milwaukee. I mean, the win's a win. You get another home game. If it goes 2-2 and Harden is not coming back, who knows? But what about the Hawks Sixers side of things? Do you have any love for the Hawks over there? Or is it over?
We've bet. So our Discord bet the Philly when they were down in the first game. So when they dropped the first game, they were like -120 to win the series. I thought that's a bit the lack of respect was a bit shocking.
Yeah,
but I think Embiid is really showing up, and I think the physicality we've seen. I think the first game was really screwed up. Like they didn't know like who should guard Trae Young, and it was really not working. But yeah, I think the adjustments were great, and I think Embiid in this form is not beatable.
Yeah,
and as long as his legs are okay and he can just run around, follow. I mean, if you look at the Atlanta Bigs, those are like young guys, and Embiid has to be there on defense, and he needs to be there on both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
But as soon as until he's healthy, I think Philly is taking this one.
Yeah, I think so too. I will say there was to go back to your point about they were confused who to guard Trae Young. Was anyone else confused? I mean, when people were previewing the series, they're like, Trae Young's going to have his handful with Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle. And then Mike Breen's out there being like, Danny Green on Trae Young early. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm not sure what, I mean, it cost them a game.
It really did. And because you see like Trae Young shooting in the second half like came way down because, hey, guess what? Ben Simmons is a better defender. Like you didn't need Ben Simmons on freaking Gallinari or whoever, like throw him on Trae. But there was a split second, like right around halftime, early third quarter of game 2 where I was like, wow, if the Sixers lose this game, this could be like, they're in trouble here because my biggest concern was Embiid's health. And if Embiid's healthy and averaging like 35 and you're still not getting W's at home, this is going to be a problem. But they do. I mean, Embiid's unstoppable right now.
Yeah. I think it will be fine. Although I'm not sure why, but I'm really not like pumped for Philly Brooklyn. Like
no, I was at the beginning, but Man, I guess I went back and forth. I thought Milwaukee was really going to give them a test, and because Milwaukee at this stage looked like they, could match up both offensively and defensively, and they can't. So it just seems like Brooklyn's going to walk right through.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well. So yeah, I have Brooklyn over Phoenix in the finals, and I'm just fine with if Chris Paul gets there. At least I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I also want to say Satoshi's comment. Who knew final form of Embiid required a torn meniscus? Wild, absolutely wild. All right. We've been here an hour. I want to make sure we get some plugs in too, because all of Balazs' stuff is right in the chat. So I mean, right in the show notes of the YouTube. So check out all that stuff. But any like parting Top Shot takes you need to get out there that we haven't covered? I want to make sure we get everything.
I think just by the pack, by getting to these challenges, I think I'm not sure that the market, like the bottom of the market, that everyone will get these packs, that's for sure. And I'm not sure that everyone is like informed that we are going to the moon right now. So you could maybe like grab a few of these playoff moments for the cheap Z's. And I think you should do that. I mean, these challenges will be fire and everyone will want to do them. So I think there will be flipping opportunities. So yeah, I'm really interested. And it's 4 hours from now and we will be in the queue.
I love the confidence of which you just said that. Like, I'm not sure everyone's aware we're going to the moon right now. It was just so matter of fact. Like, it's get on board. It's happening.
It's happening.
Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, of course. We'll definitely have you on again. And for those who are not like informed or like, wait, how do I get to the show notes? I'm gonna throw the link to the Barrel Zone in the chat. So check that out. And then also jump into Discord because you get some of those Barrel Zone takes in there, and that got me. Both between you and Topsy Kretz have got me buying a ton of shit this morning, so we appreciate it. And then hey, I'll be honest, I'm home today, so if anything weird happens, I might be jumping on live. So we'll see what happens. But I think most of the weird stuff came out last night, so I think we covered it. And hey, we went like the whole show without dropping the PJ video, so let's get the PJ video and get on out of here. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks again, man, for coming on.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
PJ Washington.